Hey guys, Lloyd here with you on the podcast Sounds from the Shed, where I love to shine a light on the independent artist out there trying to get their hustle on and all the movers and shakers that just love music. And I've got a dear friend with me today, all the way from Nashville, Tennessee, my buddy Doc Martin. How are you, Doc? It's so good to see you.
It's good to see you, Lloyd. It's always good to see you.
You keeping everything, everybody in line up there in Music City?
I think they're keeping me in line. I'm standing in a long line still.
Long line, man. But
That's
I,
right.
you and I met, what, 2 years ago, I think? Um, I actually went into one of my favorite places I love to go to in Music City, of course, Music City Grill over there in Music Valley. And you and Andrea were playing, and your awesome, phenomenal band were playing. And I just love it because you play country music.
That's about all I know how to do. Yeah, we do a lot of country music. We do a lot of 70s, 80s, and then some 90s,
Yeah,
traditional 90s,
yeah,
We do a lot, some 60s stuff like Ray Price,
I love it.
and Fair and Young and things like that. We try to do a blend in our show of all the decades that I grew up listening to.
Hmm.
So our shows were very heavy into those decades and trying to do a little bit from each one every show. But
Yeah.
yeah, you was in there that day, and you was sitting on the front row, and I was singing, and I kept looking and said, "I know that guy." And then after the show, you came up and said, "Hey, I'm Lloyd Carter." I said, "Oh, I know who you are." And I was just glad to meet you. And I was glad you were there. And I'm glad you enjoyed the show.
Oh man, it was such a wonderful afternoon just to listen to real country music being played by people that you can tell that love it. Your band
Well,
is just phenomenal.
the
So
Mysterious Cowboys, I assembled that band 2 years ago, and I'm very proud of them.
yeah,
It's about 12 to 15 members, the interchange,
yeah,
depending on who's available.
mhm,
And we rehearse a lot. We get new songs we're putting into the show ready before we put them up there. Now, there's occasions where somebody asks for a song, and I know the band knows it, and I know it well enough that I can pull it off.
yeah.
A lot of the things that we do, we've rehearsed and got it down so that when we play, it sounds like we might have figured it out before 2 days ago or two
Well,
minutes
you've
ago.
always got some phenomenal players in there, and that makes it that definitely makes it happen. So for you all that want to know the name of it, let me make sure I get it right, Doc. It's Doc Martin and the Mysterious Cowboys.
That is correct.
I want to make sure I had it right because I am a fan. I keep up with you, and every time I see you posting stuff on social media, I always try to love on it to get it going. Tell
I
us your
appreciate
story
that.
though about when you came into town and how it come into fruition. Yes.
Well, I've been a doctor for 34 years, ER doctor, family practice, and I dabbled in music along the way. I was playing guitar long before I became a doctor, before I went to college. I went to
Yeah.
college on a full vocal choir scholarship and musical
Mhm.
theater for 5 years, was pre-med. And then when I went to medical school, I kind of just played around the apartment a little bit there with the guitar. And I was a regular performer in Ruston, Louisiana at the Dixie Jamboree. About every
Okay.
6 weeks, I'd go down and play with the house band at a show at a local theater there. And that was kind of my fix, so to speak.
Yeah.
I didn't get to sing in the honky tonks when I was a kid because I was a Southern Baptist. And the church would not let me play in the honky tonks with the bands. And the one time I did, I about got thrown out of church. I sang in the choir. So that came, and it was a BYOB place in town called Annie's. It used to be a roller rink. But I was in and out of Nashville since the 90s. I'd come into Nashville and I'd visit at the Nashville Palace. And I'd sit in with Steve Hill, the Nashville Palace band, became good friends with some of those guys. And then in 2004, I came back to town and did some inspirational country music stuff.
Hmm.
Um, that was kind of the big thing up after 9/11,
Yeah.
And I got a chance to be a top five nominee for New Artist of the Year at the Inspirational Country Music Association Awards that year. I didn't win, but was on GAC at the Ryman, so that was great. And
Yeah. You
then,
got nominated. Yeah,
yeah,
that's still a great wink for
but
sure.
that wasn't what I really want to do. I want to do country music. I want to do drinking and cheating songs and honky tonk songs.
Why can't
Uh,
we do both, Doc? We can do
well,
both, can't we?
I took some of those lessons and applied it to some of the things that I'm doing. But anyway, uh, I went back to drawing board, went back to work in the ER, in fact, and then In 2019, I was nominated for top five nominee for Arkansas Country Music Awards for the Songwriter of the Year, which I didn't win that either, but that's okay. I was nominated,
Yeah.
and that was for the country record I put out called "The Simple Things." And I had three GMN Hall of Famers, Garth Brooks studio musicians on that record. And so my father was my last parent, passed away in
Mm.
3 years ago, and he said to me, he said, "Hey, Robert Jr., I've done everything in my life I've wanted to do, and I want you to live your life and do what you want to do."
Yeah.
So at that point, about 2 months later, I came to Nashville, and I'd met Ronnie McDowell in my hometown of Monticello in 2015. He did a concert there on the town square.
Mm-hmm.
That first night I came to Music City Bar and Grill, Ronnie McDowell was there.
Oh, wow.
And he remembered me and we talked. And him and his son, Ronnie Jr.,
Yeah.
introduced me to Rodney Collins, who owns Music City Bar and Grill.
Yeah.
And I became good friends with Rodney Collins. And Rodney, after a while, finally said, "Hey, Doc, I want you to put you a band together. And you can use the Troubadour for free to rehearse that band until you
Wow.
think you're ready. And when you think you're ready, you let me know and I'll come watch it." And Johnny Rodriguez was also very helpful because he encouraged Rodney to give me a chance.
That's awesome.
And so after we rehearsed for about 2 months, I had Rodney come over and he liked what he heard. And so we played about 4 or 5 shows at Troubadour to get all the bugs worked out.
Sure.
Then they moved us to the Music City Bar and Grill. And we've been there for the last 2 years, every Saturday from 1:30 to 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
So
I'm telling you, people, I talk to people all the time that have never been to Nashville and they always want to go to Nashville and they say, "Lloyd, you go up there a good bit. Where do we need to go?" I said, "You can go to Broadway and you can go check out all that stuff if you want to, that madness." I said, "But if you want to go hear country music, real country music, and this is one of the most exciting things about it, is you never know who's going to walk through the door. Go to the Music City Grill over there in Music Valley."
well, as I always say on Saturdays, we're here. This is the world famous Music City Bar and Grill.
It
We keep
is.
country 365 days a year, 7 days a week from 2 in the afternoon to 2 at night. And we
Yeah.
do. That's what we play. And we're like the Alamo. We're not going to give up. We're going to
Don't
go.
do it. That place is my little safe haven. I love going there when I go in town. And my wife Katie, she's an avid music lover too, but she's a few years younger than I am, and she gets the biggest kick out of me if I see somebody, "Oh, that's so and so's bass player from 19 so and so and so and so," just because I love it that much, and she gets a kick out of it. She says, "It's incredible that you know some of these people." I'm like, "Honey, I'm a fan. I grew up when an album came out. I put that album on, I let it play. I read the liner notes. I wanted to know who played on those records, and that's just the music nerd in me, I guess."
I did the same thing because I want to know what players played on that record. Because when I came to Nashville, I wanted to choose
That's
those.
who you wanted. Yeah.
I want the players that played on the hits.
Yeah.
The new record we're working on now. We've got 18 songs cut. We're mixing them, right now.
Yeah.
I have my choice of players. I've got Mike Johnson on steel,
Oh, God. Yeah.
got Jimmy Carter on bass.
Yeah.
I got Lonnie Wilson on drums and Tommy Harden as well. Chris Lusinger's my session leader, and he plays lead guitar on all the Garth Brooks records since day one. He plays lead
Right.
guitar for me.
Yeah.
Aubrey Honey on a fiddle. And I got Kevin Williams from the Gaither videos playing acoustic guitar,
Wow.
and Pat McGrath when he's not available. So I've got a great crew, and Paul Hollowell on piano as well as Dirk Johnson. I'm blessed. I've got a
You're
great
not
crew.
short on talent, my friend. Not at
Not
all.
The studio band is great, and my live band is fantastic. I'm very proud of them. Andrea Benz played for me for the last 2 years, and
Yeah.
she still does when she can. She's out on the road quite a bit lately,
She's
and
been staying busy because I want to get her on as well too. Because
uh, I got Mark Marie playing lead guitar right now, and he played for Daryl Worley for 7 years,
yeah,
and Michelle Lucas on bass. She's been with me for 2 years.
she's an amazing bass player.
Amazing bass
Oh
player,
my
and
gosh, she's so good.
one of the sweetest ladies and most talented ladies in town by far.
Yeah.
I got Gordon King on drums. He plays for Mel Tillis Jr. and the Memory Makers.
Mhm.
Tom Edwards plays piano for me, and he played for Eddie Raven and Earl Thomas Conley for many years.
Mhm.
Marty Chambers on steel. He's played for a lot of people as
Yeah.
well.
Does
And
Cotton
then
come in and play with you every now and then? I know he plays a good bit up there. Cotton.
no, Cotton never gets a chance. He's always on the Opry on
He's always
Saturday.
playing at the Opry, but I always catch him because sometimes when I get there late, of course, the Opry's over with, and I see him rolling his card in there and getting ready. But man,
And
he's such a sweet rascal.
I do Covington on fiddle. And sometimes if Leah Sawyer's in town, we'll run twin fiddles.
Wow.
And
Oof.
that's when it's the bomb because we're doing those shuffles, those Johnny Bush shuffles, and
Oh man.
some Ray Price things. And we've got those twin fiddles stacked on top of the steel and the lead guitar. And I mean, it's just heaven at that point, you
Yeah.
know.
Have you ever had a moment, Doc, where you say, "I can't believe this is my life"? Have you ever had that moment?
Every day.
Every day.
You know, I still doctor and because I gotta make money to pay for the other thing. To pay for the records and recording and to pay the band and make sure that they're
I had
taking.
one guest on here come on here one time, and he's a good friend of mine, and he has a really good group, and they play a lot, and but he's got a lot of members. And you know as well as I do, running a band, that's overhead. Is if your name's on the band, you got to make sure all the band gets played. He says,
That's right.
"Lloyd, this is the most expensive hobby I've ever had."
Well, I think racing dirt track cars is more expensive to
Yeah,
me every weekend.
definitely.
But as far as saying, I can't believe this is my life. I dreamed a long time to be able to come to Nashville and be a
Yeah,
part of the music scene, to be on radio with my own songs
yeah,
that I write and record. And I don't want to be just a cover artist, and I don't intend to be, but I like doing those old songs
yeah,
because I want to keep them alive.
yeah,
But I never, I always dreamed that I get to be in a position like Steve Hill was at the Nashville Palace and entertaining the tourists that come to town and letting them hear great country music and keeping that tradition alive. And
yeah,
so I'm just blessed to be able to be in this position to do that. And, I think it takes certain people like Ronnie McDowell and Johnny Rodriguez and to introduce you to like someone like Rodney Collins
yeah,
that lets you have a chance to do something like this. And Jennifer, his wife, I mean, sometimes it's not what you know, but it's who you
you
know.
know, yeah.
That's the
It's a
bottom line.
relationship game for sure.
Relationships, yes.
Yeah, and you know what? That's a beautiful thing about it because with me being an independent artist, and you are too, I'm sure you wear all the hats. You do all the marketing, you book all the shows, you handle the management and the lineups and all of that. And I think it's good for you as an artist to have to be able to do all that. When I wanted to start this podcast from the beginning, I really wanted it to be for independent artists and for them to learn from our mistakes, if you will, because heck, I still make them daily. I'm always still screwing up. And the cool thing about the booking your own events is those relationships. I have venues I've played for years that those people have become some of my dearest friends. And I'm sure
Yeah.
you probably experienced the same thing.
Well, we went down last summer and played the Georgiana Opry in Alabama, where Hank Sr. got his start in 1929 or 39 or 49, whatever year it was.
Yeah.
Uh, and so we booked that show and played there, and we're looking to expand, this next year to go out and play places in Texas because I got music on Texas Country Radio.
No, we were going to talk. We working our way to that. I want to talk about these new releases you have and the charting
Also,
you've got going on.
but also we're trying to expand in our region and also in the town. We're wanting to play other places in town. We played the Midtown Distillery in Nashville once. Hope we get to play there again and maybe play some other places in town. We're hoping to. I got a great band and I'm very confident of what we can do.
Yeah.
And I just want a chance to get out there and entertain the people, and let
Well,
them hear
you
we.
guys were heading out and doing like regional shows, weren't you? I thought I saw on your schedule
Well,
that you've been out doing some.
we did a few of those, but I got to work my day job too, so that kind of
Yeah.
sometimes puts a shoe into things and
Yeah.
sometimes, promoters don't quite see eye to eye with you sometimes, and you have to kind of say, well, maybe we don't need to come there. Everything don't always go like you hope it would go, so you got to pick and choose your places you go.
Well, I'm
You got to
excited to
be,
hear you're going to head out to Texas because you've charted well, and they love music out there. They still show up and they dance, and it's a beautiful
well,
experience. So, are you going to load the
that's,
whole band up and take them out there for how long?
well, I don't know how long we'll go, but I think we'll probably go for maybe a few dates here and there in a
Yeah.
row. Uh, I hope that we open that market up to us a little more. I spent a lot of time in Fort Worth over the years with my good friend Steve Stewart, who's one of my mentors and taught me a lot
Hmm.
about songwriting and Texas music and how to
Yeah.
do it right. And so I have a little bit of a presence in Fort Worth from the past just by being there. And hopefully that'll open the doors for Texas because they're kind of particular. They want Texas, Texas.
Sure.
So and that's what my music is geared to be is sound like Texas honky tonk. That's what
It
it's
is. I
sound.
love Texas Girl. It's got such a great swing to it, and just love it because. So let's talk
Triple
about your new one you got coming out.
Honky Tonk Honey is coming out in to Texas radio in January. It'll be on Spotify by December the 1st.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a George Strait, Brooks and Dunn cross as far as the style is concerned. And
Hmm.
it's just a good old honky tonk song about you got your honky tonk honey with you. And I even talk about Winnie the Pooh in the first verse about how he liked his honey too.
So
and
that's what I wanted to get to now with your songwriting. Where do you find your inspiration in? Is it in past stories of your life, or where do you find your inspiration from?
well, there are certain songs that I've written that have something to do with places I've been, people I've known, things I've heard or seen.
Yeah.
I like one of the songs on my new project called Aaron's Barbershop is about Aaron Hood in my hometown, who taught me how to play guitar in the barbershop.
Awesome.
And like the song Cajun Love is mainly based upon my time in Louisiana on the pipelines
Mm,
back in the day, hearing that Zydeco and Cajun music. The Texas oriented songs are mostly based in things I heard and saw in Texas. So sometimes, a title will come in my head, a hook line. Oh, that's a good idea for a song. And then the melody and the lyrics come at the same time.
mm,
So it's instantaneous when it happens.
yeah.
And I will tell you this: me and my mama traveled a lot on the pipeline roads all over the country, and we listened to country radio through quite a few decades.
Yeah.
Time I was a baby, but whenever we would cross the Memphis Bridge coming back from the east from a pipeline job going back home to Arkansas, she would roll the window down at the Memphis Bridge going over the Mississippi River, right past St. Jude's.
Hmm.
And she says, smell that? That smells like home. I will tell you this on my way back to Arkansas on several occasions, with this record, I was going to work at ER in Arkansas and I would cross that bridge. And right at that bridge, the song idea would hit me. And I'd have that song written by the time I reached that ER, or most of it. But I think my mama was reaching down saying, here's a song, son,
Mm,
right at that bridge. And a lot of them were written starting on that bridge, that Memphis bridge crossing the river.
that's awesome.
I know.
That's so cool though, how that story comes around with you and with mom, because I get inspired a lot with my dad. My family had a gospel quartet growing up, and my dad's been gone 21 years, and I find a lot of my inspiration. I mean, I have a lot of songs about dad. Most people write songs about mama. I write songs about dad. I mean, I still write some songs about mama. I still got my mom, and I'm thankful for that. But I don't know, man. When they're gone and you miss them, it is incredible how I believe that they find a way to get to us.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And that story you just told me is one of them. She got to you and she told you.
My
That,
dad loves Zydeco and Cajun music. When we was
yeah,
in Louisiana, working pipelines back in the day, he loved that beat. So
yeah,
I had to put a Cajun oriented song on the record.
that's
And
awesome.
I brought Jeff Taylor in from the Time Jumpers to play accordion on that song. what a great job he did. And but there's a lot of influences on this new project that has to do with my journey through country music and all the influences I heard, except for bluegrass.
Yeah.
I didn't put any bluegrass on it. I didn't put any gospel on it, but it's just a lot of the influences of the country music that I grew up listening to on the radio and the
Hmm.
places we went. Um, but yeah, my mother she loved country music. And in fact, in the song Texas Girl, on the verse where I talk about she knows how to two step and jive to the Texas swing, that's my mama.
Yeah.
Just let her on the dance floor and watch her do
Let
her
her
thing.
go.
And she's not from Texas, she's from Arkansas, but that verse is my mama. She was a dancer. Now I'm gonna tell you, my mother was a great dancer. So was my father. So yeah,
Well,
and a lot of the records, a lot of the, a lot of it's about the kinds of songs I knew they would like to dance to,
yeah.
two steps and that swing and that kind of thing.
Have you got any themes or messages that you're hoping maybe your listeners would pick up in any of your latest songs?
I'm not sure there's any themes in those except Texas Girl really is just a fun song. I mean, it's
Yeah.
about
But you've got a
Texas.
good catalog though. I've been looking up some of your other stuff. You've got a really good catalog. Um,
Well, I did a country gospel album in
yeah.
'04, and I did that for my mother. She wanted me to do a gospel album, so I thought I'll do a country gospel one. So I wrote about 10 songs, came up here and recorded those.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of positive messages about the Bible and God and Jesus and those, and
Hmm.
whatever you can learn from those things that I have to say is good. And then the Simple Things project was straight to country, and there's a couple of songs that had an inspirational message. One was called "I'm going to I'm going to live trying,"
Yeah.
and it means just to continue to live your life until the very end, trying, never
Keep
give
trying.
up.
Yeah. I love
And
that.
eventually, you're going to get over that hill, and you just got to keep trying. And then I got a Christmas song that I put out every year that's going to be out again this year on Texas Country Radio called "The Reason for the Season."
I love that song. I've already checked it out. I had to find it. It's on a Spotify link where it's under Robert Martin though. It's not under
Correct.
Doc Martin.
Well,
I do my homework, Doc. If I do my homework, I listen. If an artist is coming on the show, I really want to listen to the artist, to their music and their catalog. It's a little different with you and I though, because you and I are already friends and we've met each other. But like for instance, if an artist reaches out to me that I'm not familiar with, I want to listen to their music before I even get any conclusions of who they are as a person. I want to go ahead and hear their music. So it was a little backwards with yours, but I love that song. It was a little hard for me to find, and if you didn't
right.
have it on your social media, I don't think I would find it. So we
We
might want to
recorded that,
reevaluate because it is a wonderful song, Doc.
we recorded that song in 2008 when I was recording the Simple Things project. I wanted to have at least a Christmas song in the can.
Yeah.
And so every year I put that song out called "The Reason for the Season." And
Mhm.
mainly it talks about the fact that, the ornaments on the tree, the lights, and the star, the biggest star that you could possibly put up there,
Yeah.
any gift you could bring, it's not the reason for the
It's
season.
not. Yeah.
The reason for the season is the birthday of a king,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And I love that when I first heard it, I'm like, that's a Christmas song. I love it. And I don't
Bringing
know, dude, maybe it's the old man in me, the older I get, because I released a Christmas song this last month too. And I really wanted to get back to the whole reason of the season. Yeah, I love Jingle Bells. Everybody loves Jingle Bell Rock and all those fun songs for the holiday season. But it just almost seems like eno- not enough people are really kind of recapping and saying, hey, this is the whole reason why we're doing this.
We need a reminder sometimes,
We
I
do.
think.
I
And
know I do.
I think the faster life gets, we tend to forget. And when I wrote that song, it just came to me, and had great players on that from the Simple Things project. Of course, Sonny Garish on steel, Owen Hale on drums, Robert Jacobs on fiddle, Mark Castine was on acoustic guitar, Chris
Yeah.
Lissinger on lead guitar. I had Dirk Johnson on piano, and Mike Brignardello on bass, and John Wesley Riles sang background on that.
Yeah,
And he just passed away, a few weeks
he
ago.
did. Yeah,
And what an honor to have him singing
that's
background.
so neat that you had him on that project.
I had him on the Simple Things too, and he wouldn't come out of retirement for the new one. I guess it's because his health was bad, and
Yeah,
I was saddened to hear of his passing because he's from Louisiana, I'm from Arkansas, so we're kind of kindred souls in a way.
man.
And what a great singer and a person he is. I was just blessed to have the chance to spend time with him in the studio and have him on those records to remember those things. But
So
yeah.
I was going to ask you, out of your catalog, was there a particular song that means the most to you? But I guess that would be it, or is there another one out of your catalog that means the most to you? And if so, why?
Hmm. Do you know, it's not a song that I recorded, but it's a song that I co-wrote or wrote and arranged for a friend of mine named David Livingston, who's a Southern Baptist preacher and lives in Savannah. I haven't heard from him in a while, but he wanted something more country to put out to gospel radio. He was promoted for the singing news and
Yeah.
Southern gospel music. So I wrote him a song called "I'm Sorry, Lord."
Oh man.
And he recorded it in Cleveland, Tennessee, and
Yeah.
put it out. Michael Lee produced it and got all the instruments together. But I laid them out how I thought it needed to go,
Hmm.
and that was his first top 5 single on the Singing News Southern Gospel chart.
That's awesome.
That was his highest charting song of all he ever had, and it's got a great message about maybe you got away from Jesus, maybe you got
Yeah.
away from God, and you're just sorry about it, and you want to return to the fold. Uh, but that song alone made me more royalties from BMI than any other song I ever wrote.
Man, I thought you were going to get emotional with me on this. You talking about the
Well,
dog
I,
bill?
I took to a twist, but but I thought to myself, of all the songs, I
I'm
guess
going to have to look it up now. I want to look it up. I want to hear it. I mean,
The Lord is just trying to tell me something. I need to write more songs along this line.
yeah.
All of the other ones that I'm doing, don't abandon this. You need to write songs that have a little bit of a inspirational side to them,
Yeah.
And
Well, that's what I've kind of done over these last few releases I've done. And somebody even actually asked me this, said, "Are you going to be a Christian artist?" I'm like, "Well, I'm an artist that's just a Christian. I'm a broken man. I'm still going to sing about a honky tonk and all this." And and that's why I asked you earlier, well, why can't
oh,
we do them both?
I do. I think on the new project there's 18 songs on there, and boy, I like them all. There's
Yeah.
2 songs that are rodeo oriented. The song Aaron's Barbershop, though, I think probably means a great deal to me because of those lessons I learned on playing guitar, sitting in that spare barber's chair
Yeah.
with Aaron Hood in Monticello, Arkansas, and learning to play those Gene Watson songs and all those country songs. He would give me little guides on how to play the bass lines and
Yeah.
how to play. He had a F10 Yamaha guitar he kept in that barbershop, and I'd go in there. My dad'd be at the pool hall next door playing dominoes. I'd go in there, that guitar off the wall.
Oh, Doc, I love it, man. I
And,
love stories like this. This is why I do this.
and so when I got good enough and knew some of those Gene Watson songs and learned how to play, his brother Robin Hood was an excellent Chet Atkins style guitar player.
Mhm.
Very talented. The whole family was talented. And so I got I got enough to I knew enough to play very well at a certain point. And I'd go in and I'd grab that guitar and I'd sit in the other barber's chair. I was probably 10th, 11th grade at this point. And I'd start off with farewell party. I say, I'm gonna play farewell party, Aaron, and you sing it. And he'd be cutting hair and singing farewell party. And I'd be playing farewell party. And he could sing that Gene Watson. So I think of all the songs, that one means a lot to me because it's a true story about how it all got started.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Dr. Robert Martin, ladies and gentlemen. Doc, I appreciate you coming in, hanging out with me today.
I'm glad you allowed me to come and spend some
Tell
time.
tell everybody how they can find you, because I'm telling you guys, he is truly a Nashville treasure. Yeah, you can go up there and get in that hustle and bustle, but if you are a true country music fan, this awesome individual right here is carrying the torch up there.
Well, now I want to say thank you for that compliment because you've accomplished a whole lot in Georgia as a Georgia country artist with your awards
I'm
all,
trying, man. I'm trying.
and all those things that you have accomplished way more than I've accomplished. But for you to say that means a lot to me,
Wow.
Lloyd. And
I appreciate what you bring to the table to Music City. You keep Music City, Music City. People like
well,
you.
I'm one, but I'm trying to do my part. And but anyway, I got a Facebook fan page, Doc Martin fan club, Robert Martin on my main page. You can follow me there. I've also got a Doc Martin Nashville Instagram.
Okay.
And if you really want to find me in person, come to Music City Bar and Grill every Saturday from
Every
1:30 to 5 o'clock, and we're gonna lay it on.
Oh man, he will. He will. I'm gonna tag you in all these posts too when I put this up here, so we'll make sure people find you. Thank you for coming on today, Doc. I appreciate your friendship so much.
Thank you so much, Lloyd.